On the 4th of April, 1968, Robert F. Kennedy gave a speech. It was a eulogy in regard to the death of Martin Luther King Jr. His intent was to give the American people a choice on how to handle the death of such a beloved civil rights leader. This is remarks on the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr.
Martin Luther King dedicated his life to love and to justice between fellow human beings. He died in the cause of that effort. In this difficult day, in this difficult time for the United States, it's perhaps well to ask what kind of a nation we are and what direction we want to move in. For those of you who are black, considering the evidence evidently is that there were white people who were responsible, you can be filled with bitterness and with hatred and a desire for revenge. We can move in that direction as a country, in greater polarization, black people amongst blacks and white amongst whites, filled with hatred toward one another. Or we can make an effort, as Martin Luther King did, to understand and to comprehend and replace that violence, that stain of bloodshed that is spread across our land, with an effort to understand, compassion, and
Robert Kennedy used his speech to express to both white and black people to continue to fulfill Martin Luther King's dream of peace and equality. To achieve his purpose, he used rhetorical strategy of two allusions. One was in reference to his favorite poet, Aeschylus, and the second was a historical quote from the Greeks. By using this strategy, it furthered the integrity of the point Mr. Kennedy was making. Using an allusion captivates the listener with something of previous context to enforce new ideas with old morals.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
He also uses a shift in point of view, changing from a third-person view of addressing the American people to a second-person view, which Robert Kennedy includes himself. This literary device creates a more personalized view of the audience, because they can now connect with the speaker through shared experience.
As a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice.
The speech itself is considered a eulogy, which used as a rhetorical device can make a group of people want to fulfill the desires of the deceased. This is especially predominant in this case, with the cause of death and the powerful position Martin Luther King had. People would have felt as if they owed it to Martin to handle his death peacefully, because it's what he would have wanted, according to Kennedy. By telling black people they have the right to be upset, but then countering that with the dream of racial peace, it creates a sense of irony. This is very effective in Robert Kennedy's speech because it makes him sound apathetic without condoning violence. The irony is subtle, but it allows the audience to realize that they have the choice to react in a peaceful manner. Robert F. Kennedy achieved a somber yet hopeful tone through his speech. His use of rhetorical strategy allowed him to present a successful speech to the American people, white and black alike.